All right, guys, we're getting ready to weld some 1/4" steel right here. Now, I've also beveled. Remember, anything over 1/8 of an inch, you want to bevel, you're going to have to use a thicker rod. This is a 1/8 E70S. You can use your stick electrode, 70-18, 60-10, 60-11. Just knock the flux off. Remember, welding thick metal, got to use a thicker rod for it. Now, on thick metal, remember, we're going to have to preheat. You have to go in and preheat it real good, get both edges red before we start. Check out these new leather gloves. They're a leather fabricator, brand new at Cobra Torches. These are sweet. One of the most comfortable pair of gloves that I've ever put on my hands, and I've welded most of my life. You might want to get you a pair of these. All right, bring your torch in. We've got the number 2 tip, 2 rings. All right, what you want to do, that cone right there is too small, so thick metal, you're going to have to make that flame a little bit hotter, guys. Remember, that steel melts a little over 2,000 degrees, neutral flame. Hold it like a TIG. On thick metal, you're going to have to use some gloves. All right, so we're going to come in and preheat that metal. Remember, the thicker, the larger, the bigger, the more preheat you have to put into it. All right, now you got to get both edges right here where they're actually starting to melt. All right, lay the rod in, you let it melt. Now you hold the heat on that rod and watch it sink to the bottom. Come back, add a little bit more rod to it. You can keep adding that filler rod. You got to hold the heat a little bit longer to allow that molten metal to float to the bottom. So you're going to hold the heat longer than what you're accustomed to. Now actually watch that puddle floating to the bottom. You can see it sink down, come back, add a little bit more rod to fill it up, give you the proper height that you want on your rod. All right, come back, a little bit more rod, a little circular motion, let it heat, sink to the bottom. Come back, fill it up, let it sink in. Steel, you're going to go a whole lot slower on. Again, if it looks like it's melting too fast, cut the heat down a little bit. Make that cone a little smaller, or if it's not melting, make it a little bit longer. We're about perfect right here. All right, when you get to the end, you'll have to apply a little more rod, keep from it cratering out. Come back and pull off of it. Now, if you have some indentions, you can go back and make a little pass. If you didn't get the penetration you want, you can flip it over and do it again.